1 degree outside, Sunday evening essentials, and we'll wrap in early week insights here as well. Hi, meteorologist Matt Noyes. You know what? As we slide into the new week, if you want to see and look ahead 14 days to what's coming up, grab the app if you haven't already. The number 1 degree outside on the App Store and Google Play. Look, for tonight, many of us stay above the freezing mark. We'll take a look at that here in just a minute. There will be some isolated black ice. Generally, the skies are going to be clearing as we head to the overnight. Some of us have been pretty cloudy in southern parts of New England. Those clouds will be moving out to the south. So notice our overnight lows, 32 at Keene, 32 at Springfield. There are definitely spots, and especially in northern New England, where we had a lot of melting over the weekend, and some of that freezes up again. Just be careful for that, for a little bit of patchy black ice tonight. We'll also get perhaps a little touch of fog near the south coast by morning, but most of us at the south coast will be above the freezing mark. So notice it's going to get a little bit quieter for a couple of days and milder too. There is a disturbance that's cutting across southern Canada. That one continues to be in southern Canada. So what that means for us is we actually get a little bit of a flow of milder air in the next 2 days with an increasing breeze. So school day feels like forecast. We're talking about feeling like 60 after school on Monday and feeling like 64 after school on Tuesday. Pretty incredible stuff. Actual high temperatures Monday, pretty close to that, obviously, right? And the wind is not going to be a huge deal, but it will get breezy in the afternoon. It's a bigger deal for those of you that watch us in the North Country, New England. I'll show you that right now. Notice we head to the overnight tonight. The breeze picks up a bit in the North Country, dies down in the early morning. Not a real big deal on the wind through a lot of the day until you get to about 2 or 3 in the afternoon. It gets breezy in southern New England, but gusts may go to 40 miles per hour in the Champlain Valley all the way over to Bar Harbor. In fact, in eastern Maine, we may continue to see the gusts ramp up around and after dinner time. Some gusts over 50 are possible, especially in Washington County by the time we get to your Monday evening. Overnight Monday night, probably above freezing for a lot of us. Maybe a couple of spots in northern New England can slide down. Just a reminder that if you're into winter sports, we still have our winter sports discussions ongoing. Might be a nice chance if you wanted to try it this winter and you haven't. Try it out for March, see what you think, and come on back for it again next winter. But nonetheless, we got a lot there for folks who are still skiing and snowmobiling. So with that, let's go ahead and dive into early week insights. Of course, early week insights looks out to the next several days and shows you what's going on here. Look, I think the biggest thing that kind of rings true for me is not the warmth that's building across a lot of central and southern portions of the United States. That's a story, but it's not really our story. Our story is this: high pressure that builds again and again and again in eastern Canada coming off Hudson Bay. This was the story of late last week. I don't know if you remember, but kind of the general consensus was it was going to be a 50-degree mild rainstorm from a week out, right? And we told you here, don't buy that because there's too much cold and snowpack up in eastern Canada. I'm going to tell you that I still think this high pressure dome in eastern Canada is going to be a key player for probably another couple of weeks to come. Maybe longer, maybe even into the spring in terms of backdoor cold fronts and all that. But with regard to wintry precipitation, it's interesting because you get up to the middle of this week. Yes, we do have warmth that comes in, although notice the North Country of New England will be cold at the onset. But notice how quickly the cold air comes charging in behind that system as we get into Thursday. We may actually end with some accumulating snow on Thursday as the system pulls out because the cold air is so eager to get in. So now the next system comes along Friday, really Friday night into Saturday. The cold air is going to try and be here. Yet again, we're going to be tracking a rain snow line with that one. Here it is again, the cold building once more, high pressure, which, yes, would normally be fair weather, but you've got a very active flow, which means the next system that comes in toward the end of the upcoming weekend also does battle with the cold. And even if you get warmth to come in, you probably get some snow on the front end, particularly when you get across northern New England. You see, part of the issue here is that the jet stream is turning more and more active, right? You've got contributions of moisture from the Pacific, from the Gulf, and you've still got a ton of northern stream energy. Now, none of that is unusual for March, but at the same time, it's a very energized pattern. And that means it's a pattern that has potential. We talked about this in pattern predictions. We will again at the start of this upcoming week when we update pattern predictions, the 2-week forecast. But generally now you're getting more precipitation that comes down with each event. All winter we had really light, fluffy snow until recently. If you track the atmospheric energy through the atmosphere, here's a lot of it coming in off the Pacific, right? And of course, you know that's loaded with moisture. So we get out ahead of that. That's going to be that system that comes in at midweek. But again, you've still got energy Thursday that has to come through. And that's why I say you might make a flip over to some accumulating snow on the backside of the system. And then here's that next one that comes in here for Friday night into Saturday. Now, admittedly, it's coming in far enough north that the best chance of accumulating snow with that would be in northern New England. But because of that high pressure in eastern Canada, always wanting to flex its muscle with cold, we will have to watch every one of these. And that would be the case, too, at the end of the upcoming weekend into early next week. What's it look like on the surface map? Look again, it's a fairly quiet couple of days for us on Monday and Tuesday. I told you about the breeze that'll pick up, right? We'll take a look at that here in just a minute. But notice high pressure that's going to be in charge for us here to the beginning of the week. Well, remember, ironically, high pressure is the story, right? As every low pressure comes in, yes, it looks like we do get into warmer air on Wednesday, except maybe in the North Country. The breeze will pick up for us at midweek. There could even be a rumble of thunder when the cold front arrives coming into Wednesday evening or night. But again, on the back side of it, do we get a little period of snow? It's possible because the cold wants to rush in so much. With all this changing air, warm to cold to warm to cold, you get wind. Some of that wind is picking up in its gusts on Monday afternoon and evening, particularly in northern New England. But we do it again as we head out to the midweek system Wednesday night into Thursday. We get into some gusty wind once more. Then we do it again as we get into the upcoming system for Friday night and Saturday. The wind picks up with that. Anytime you change the air, you're going to get wind. So be in the mindset for that to be the case. Now, with the Monday afternoon gusts, we're going with seas of about 2 to 4 feet near shore, maybe 5 feet at Wilkinson Basin by evening. Tuesday, that tries to come down just a little bit. But remember, if the wind picks up again at midweek, then yet again, you're going to 3 to 5 foot seas near shore, probably a little bit more when you get into parts of the Gulf of Maine. And then you really pick that wind up going into Thursday. As the wind speed picks up, the waves pick up along with it. High temperatures day by day, Tuesday into the 60s. Pretty remarkable. Obviously not the case on the Cape. You are surrounded by cold ocean water. Same thing for any of our south-facing coastlines, right? You get a wind off the ocean. It's going to keep you colder this time of the year. We get into Tuesday night, and temperatures generally are running in the 40s for a lot of us here. We do talk about showers trying to develop on Wednesday. They begin scattered. That becomes a little bit more in the way of rain Wednesday evening and night. Maybe that rumble of thunder as you take this air, and then you really cool it down quite a bit as we head into Thursday. We think that Wednesday night, here's the cold front, really well defined. And again, do we end up with a little bit of snow Thursday? That is a possibility on the back side of this thing. Just a reminder, we have all of our videos and any updates whenever we need to issue them, always coming out on our weather network. That is 1 degree outside on your smart TV, at the YouTube app, online, or on our app. Thanks for making 1 degree outside a part of your daily routine.
Thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this 1 degree outside video.
Get exclusive content, support the mission at membership.1degreeoutside.com. And don't forget, free and 5 stars on the App Store and Google Play. Search the #1 Degree Outside Weather.